Hello, happy Monday. Happy Monday. I am your host, Intellects, coming to you with your Meeting of the Mind segment. We have started a new series. So, for those of you who have not, go back and check it out on our social media platforms, YouTube, our app. We have so many different things that we have going on, but we wanted to take some time out to focus on the topic for this series, which is Purpose Work Part 2. Now, if you don't know what purpose work is simply doing the work that you were called to do, something that you love to do, that you have passion for, something that you're willing to do whether you get paid for it or not, and something that will bring financial gain to your life eventually if you're not already there. All right, so we are going to jump right on in to our second portion. Make sure to check out part 1. Delves into a lot of different things. All right, so we're going to get started right now. And shout out to each and every single one of you who are listening in on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, on X, on all of our platforms, right? We appreciate you. All right, so shout out to you all. Shout out to the intellectuals tuning in today. All right, so we're going to jump right into what purpose work is, part 2. Check this out.
Weakness, it's our natural disposition. I'm an outgoing with reservations. Okay, brilliant, that's fine. People orientated, awesome. Keep those comments coming. Let me know what you're writing down. Now, so if you're outgoing and task, you're what's known as a D-style personality. And that personality is known as dominant, right? If you're outgoing in task, you're a D-type personality. Now, if you're outgoing in people, you're known as what's known as an inspiring personality, right? Now, if you're reserved and people, right, you're known as a supportive individual. And if you're reserved and task, you're known as a collective individual. Now, I'm going to tell you a bit about all of these 4 personality types. Now, of course, we all have mixes, and there are 16 versions of this that you could be. But this is a simple exercise that we can drive into our interactive workshop today that you can connect with. Now, I want to tell you a bit about each of these. How many of you were outgoing in task? So outgoing in task people, generally very driven. You're drivers. You're also able to drive other people, right? You can dominate conversations. You're good at being in control, taking control, directing audiences, right? You're good at giving direction, and you're good at getting stuff done. You're great with deadlines. See all these D words that I'm dropping right now, right? You're directors, you're drivers, you get things done. You stick to deadlines. You make things happen. These people are great at making sure projects executed. These people are great at making sure that projects end on time and happen to time and on schedule, right? These people are ready, fire, aim, right? Ready, fire, aim. They're so ready, they want to get going, they aim afterwards, right? These are D-type personalities. If you're in that quadrant, you will succeed when you're given a position where you can direct, when you can drive, when you can be making key decisions, and when you feel things are going to time. So you need to create an environment in your passion, whatever it is, that environment itself will help you uncover your passions even more. It will help you learn and grow and thrive. And that's the key thing here. We're trying to give you an environment that you can start thriving in, right? That's the D-type. Now, how many of you were in that D-type? Let me see what some of you are saying. Stacey, I'm definitely more reserved and have struggled finding who I am because I felt that being reserved has hindered me in life and has had a negative stigma. I'm anxious to learn how I can use this as a strength. Stacey, great question. Thank you so much for bringing it up. The incredible thing about being reserved is that you observe closely. Being observant is one of the greatest strengths of an individual. When you can observe human behavior, when you can observe what's happening in the background, you can almost extract insights that other people don't see. You can extrapolate signals, ideas, symbols that other people don't see. That's an incredible strength. One of the things I recommend to you is something I learned from an entrepreneur many, many years back. And he said to me that he was an introvert. He was a very successful entrepreneur. He was an introvert. And what he did is he surrounded himself with extroverts. The extroverts would be able to talk about his ideas in a way that other people would relate to them, but they were able to stay true to his idea and recommend and stand as advocates of his work. So my recommendation to you is find friends, find a community where you have extroverts around you who understand you, who really connect with you. The other thing is finding the right spaces. One of the biggest TED Talks is all about how introverts have such great strengths, right? Some of the best speakers in the world are actually introverts because they thrive more on stage. So being reserved and being an introvert is actually a great strength because you can observe better, surround yourself by people who can get that message out there, whatever you're trying to share, whatever you're trying to understand. And thirdly, find spaces where now it's becoming more common, even through online networks and forums where you can connect with people. I hope that answers your question. Let's have a look. Mervyn, what if you're not wanting to face self-awareness and are afraid of change? Well, that's one of the biggest challenges we all have. We're afraid of change. My challenge to you is that not changing is something we should be even more scared of, right? People are scared of failure, but we should be more scared at succeeding at things that don't really matter to us. That's like something we should be more scared of. And that's an incredible thought process. I know loads of startups in Silicon Valley really harness this thought process where they say that actually we need to change because not changing is more scary because everything else around us is constantly changing. That's something that I recommend getting some motivation around, getting some coaching around as well. Sydney, how to be a better networker as an introvert? Use online social media. Social media is perfect for those of us that are more reserved and may not feel comfortable going to a networking event and handing cards out. And quite frankly, it's the worst idea in the world, right? Whenever that's happened to me, I never remember someone who gives me their card. I remember someone who expresses their heart, someone who actually connects face to face and tells me what they stand for, what they're passionate about. Online social media is a phenomenal way of connecting. If you feel you're more reserved, I definitely recommend it. I see lots of people using it to their strength. Evan, I'm 27 and looking at going back to school. Awesome, to help the environment and animals. However, I'm already in massive debt from my first go at college. Should I take that into consideration at all? I feel like money should never hold us back, but I don't want to ruin my future. Evan, thank you so much for that honest and open question. I love the fact that you want to make a difference to the environment. So that's extremely commendable. There's two routes. The first route is that intrinsic motivation to make a change is so powerful that you're going to go and do it anyway, right? You're so motivated by that. You're not going to worry about the money. You're not going to worry about the challenges, anything that's come up. You want that change so badly, you're not going to be worried about your security. That's one route. The second route is that there's multiple routes to make a change that often we don't consider. There's multiple methods and ways and routes that we haven't connected with. It may mean you joining an NGO and not needing the qualification. It may mean traveling somewhere, taking some time out and experiencing and getting a shorter qualification in that space. It may mean being mentored by someone who's a leader in that space. There are multiple options. Start thinking about the next 3 things you can do tomorrow, people to reach out to, projects to get connected with, and organizations to partner with. Right? People, projects, and partners. Start thinking about 3 things you can do for each of those spaces. Get started on them now if you think it's too big a risk to make the switch. I hope that answers your question, Evan. Thanks so much for sharing that. Kevin J, how do you trust your instincts on our passions when we have loved ones who feel those passions are not worth following? Kevin, great question. The really interesting thing about our passions is that most people will not connect with them until it starts having some impact, right? You know, people will first laugh at you, they'll question you, and then they'll join you and follow you, right? It's like they'll almost ridicule you to begin with, then they'll think about you, and then maybe even, come back at you, and then they'll follow you, join you, work with you, partner with you. And that's the process we go through. People that love us, people that don't know us, that's the journey that everyone goes through. So the first thing is to accept that that is a journey. The second thing is that if this is an intrinsic motivation, like what I was saying to Evan, is this is something that you truly believe in, then you're not worried about whether other people believe it or not. If it's something that you've truly connected with, something that drives you from a much deeper place, then you're not going to be worrying whether person X, Y, or Z agrees with it or works with it, right? So that's definitely something to consider. Thank you, Kevin, for asking that question. Sally, what if you thought you knew your passion and realized you didn't? Absolutely fine. Go back, do this process and figure out what it is. See, it's very natural for our passions to change and evolve. It's very rare for you to do the same thing when you are 20 as you're doing when you're 50. That's very rare. It's great for there to be change. Don't be so opposed to that at all. Great to see so many of your questions still flying through. Great to see so many of you engaged as well. Now, I want to come back to this because I want to give you some more insight regarding the Ds. Now, if you fall into the Ds, we talked about this. If you fall into the
All right. What did y'all think about that so far? So, Jay Shetty is really great at breaking things down, and some of the people who responded or asking questions, as you can see, he was giving them simple instructions on what to do. You know, if you're feeling stuck, if you don't realize what your purpose is, or if you're reserved and you don't want to be in a networking event where you have to speak to people, there's always different ways to do things, right? So, just to go over the DISC that was on the board, the D stands for dominant, which he was going into. You're ready, fire, aim, like you're really in control. You want to be direct. You want to have the driver's seat. You want to be the leader of the pack, right? The next one is inspiring, collective, supportive. And we're going to get into all of those a little bit later. But he said that one of the greatest strengths is being observant, because you're actually looking and watching, taking notes, whether it's physical notes or mental notes, right? And he also talked about how if it's something that you believe in, you don't have to worry about what others think, because despite everybody's opinion, everybody got one, right? But what's your opinion? You know, if you know your purpose and no one agrees with you, no one stands with you, who cares? Of course, we all want that support. We all want that love. We all want that backing. But sometimes we're not going to get that. Sometimes we're going to have to do what we have to do for ourselves and be our own cheerleader and be our own motivational speaker and be our own supporter, our own driver, our own everything, till we get to a certain point where people actually see what you see. Because a lot of times what your vision and what your purpose is something that only you saw. It wasn't a conference call when God gave you that purpose. It was a one-on-one. So everybody's not going to see it. So if people don't see it, don't support you, don't get discouraged by that. Just know that when your time is coming, nothing and no one can stop you from fulfilling your purpose. All right. Now I want to see in the comment section, you know, what is your purpose work? What are you here to do? What have you been called to do to fulfill in your lifetime? Because we want to know. And if you need help with that, go to intellects.com to find out how we can help you customize a package specifically for you and your artistic needs. If you need consistent help with that, if you need a consultation, it's free 99. All right, subscribe to our email list, subscribe to our YouTube channel, download our app, the Artrepreneurs Hub. Under the Mighty Network, search your Play Store, create an account, and search the Artrepreneurs Hub. We are right there. You can also go on our website, intellects.com, and it gives you an option to subscribe to our app. All right. And if for those of you who are members of the VIAP, very important artistic people, you get all inclusive access to the app. So never before seen footage, early access, a bunch of different goodies that we give out to our subscribers, because we are here for you and we wouldn't be here without you. So shout out to you all. But if you are interested in finding out what your purpose work is, go deeper, learn more about who you are, what it is that you love, what you're passionate about, what you get upset about that you want to change, because every purpose is a problem solver, right? Purpose work is you solving a problem that's out there. Okay. And if you hear anybody's story, they are there to solve a problem. All right. So we're going to jump back into this and wrap it up. All right. Let's check out this next part.
Into the inspiring category. You're an influencer. You come up with insights. You like coming up with new ideas. You're good at inspiring people. You're good at influencing people to make change. You're great at persuasion. You're great at negotiation. And these individuals are ready, talk, right? People talk a lot when they switch in this area. But the thing is, their talk, if harnessed properly and nurtured properly, they can have an impact. So these people thrive in arenas where they feel they can have an influence, when they think that their ideas are being taken seriously, when they feel that they're able to come up with things that can make a change, right? So that's where you've got to creatively fit into that one. Now, you may say you were reserved and people, right? Actually, I'll come to that one last. You may say you're reserved and task, then you fall into the C category. These people are calm, collective, cautious, conscious. These are also the people that send you text messages and emails saying that you've got spelling mistakes in your text messages and emails. They look for the detail. They're really conscious of the minute to detail, the attention to detail. They're focusing on the quality, right? So these people focus on getting things done. These people focus on making sure that people like what's being done. These people make sure that the quality of what's being done is done well, right? These people are ready, aim, 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 aim. They're perfectionists. So if you're a perfectionist, you fit into here. Your skill set is that you're great at focusing on quality, but you shouldn't be focusing on delivery or making sure other people are going to like it. You got to make sure that the quality of that product is phenomenal, right? And finally, you've got S, reserved in people. These people are supportive. These people are stable. These people are mediators. They're great at making sure everyone's connected. They're getting good at making teams work effectively together, good at ironing out issues and touchy points and areas of challenges. These people are also the people in the organization that you go to get a hug from, right? Can I get an R, virtual life? You put it in the comment section for me as well. These are people that give a lot of love to people. Notice you need all four to make an effective team. If you're an entrepreneur, you're running a project, you're working in a company, whatever you're trying to do, you need all four to work effectively. These people make sure the project has a plan and that you stick to the plan. These people make sure that other people outside will buy into that product, know about that plan, know what you're doing. These people make sure the quality of it actually works. And these people will make sure that the team works. Notice you need all areas. So whichever one you are, play to that strength, right? Focus in on that. Really, really go for it. Go all in that space. Don't try and be the other one. When I's try and be D's, they won't work because that's not about the same thing as that. When C's try and be S's or D's or I's, it never works. We're like a fish out of water, right? A fish out of water, you can give it all the money in the world, it can't survive in that environment and therefore it will die. And that's what happens when we're functioning too much outside of our environments in places we don't thrive, we don't breathe and live either. Right? So really hope that you're connecting with these points that I'm making. I hope that you're understanding exactly what we're talking about. All the personality types on the board are very important to teams. Exactly, Rainey. That's exactly the point I'm making. Aaron says, great explanation. Need all four. Awesome. Yes, and it's making you realize, the reason why I did this exercise is to make you realize that you are integral to making change. Like, you're powerful. If you focus in on your environment, if you connect to becoming the best in that space, you are an incredible asset to yourself, to a team, to other people, to anyone, because all of these are needed. But the worst thing is when we try to do someone else's duty. And there's this great verse in the Bhagavad Gita, which I read as a monk, which says that it's better to do your own nature, even if only 50%, than doing another one's perfectly. When we aim to do someone else's work, even perfectly, we'll always be challenged, we'll always be let down. That's why we feel stress. That's why we feel pressure in life. When you're doing pressure in your own environment, you feel the pressure, but you get through it, you dive through it. Kelly McGonigal talks about that in her book called The Upside of Stress. That when you're working in your passion, stress doesn't feel like stress anymore. You still experience it, it just doesn't feel like it. But when you're not working in your passion, stress feels like stress, pressure feels like pressure. It gets really, really heavy. And we all experience that in our lives. And if you're experiencing that in your career, you're experiencing that in your life, find areas of your day where you can be pursuing your passions. Miyoka, can you be two aspects at the same time? Of course you can, right? It's very likely that I's and S's can be together, S's and C's, D's and C's, or D's and I's. Those are very natural blends that can naturally exist. Which of these makes a good leader? They're all good leaders, they're different leaders. Right? Notice they're very different leaders. These leaders get stuff done. They're more like managers. These leaders set a vision, good leaders. These leaders are great at making sure things are done with quality, and these leaders make sure teams work together. Generally, I's and S's can be leaders, but D's and C's are also just different types of leaders. Notice there is not one type of leader, right? Can you give examples for each of job types, says Kanika? Sure. So D's would be project managers, right? Managers within organizations, consultants, right? People who are working with people, maybe even bankers. I's would be people working in the media, right? News, magazines, TV, etc. People who are C's are anyone that needs quality control, producers, right? Testers for technology. Coders would go into C's because you need that eye for detail. Analytics, you're in C's as well. And S's, you'd see people like psychiatrists, psychologists, right? But anyone who's making a team work. So I hope that gives some insights into those. Rennie, do you agree with not sharing your passions with the people in your life who aren't supporting and sharing with people instead? I always say that. Find the people that are going to champion you. Let them champion you. Let them help you grow. And you'll see phenomenal things that happen in your life. Don't give energy to areas that are taking energy away, because they're only going to take more. If someone's criticizing you, if someone's not with you, that's already extracting energy. Then you focusing on that is giving up more energy. But when someone out there is supporting you, they're championing you, they're giving you energy, give that energy back to them and see incredible things happen. Guys, it's been phenomenal speaking to you today. Thank you so much for tuning into this workshop. I'm going to leave you with one last message. If you were asked that you had 100 hours, if I told you I was going to give you 100 hours of self-development courses by me, right? And I said you were allowed to split it across these 3 areas: stuff that you're good at, that I would help you work on, stuff that you're average at, that I help you work on, or things that you're not good at. How would you split that in terms of percentage? How much percent would you give to each one? Would you do 80, 10, 10? Would you do 30, 30, 40? Would you do 60, 20, 20? What would you do? I want to know your percentages, and I'm going to leave you with a really incredible lesson. When they analyzed the most successful people, they found that the answer to this question of the most successful people was 80, 10, 10, or 100, 0, 0. The people that are successful, the people that are leading in their space and feeling happy about it, they're doing what they're good at and what they love, and they're becoming the best at it. They're going all in on that space, right? They're going all in and focusing in on that space. When we focus on what we're poor at, we'll only ever be average. When we focus on what we average at, we'll only ever be good. Unless you love what you're average at, then you can scale up. Apart from that, we want to focusing on those 2 quadrants. Doing what you love and are good at, doing what you love and are not good at yet. That's where you want to give your energy. That's where you want to give your passions. I hope this session, this workshop, has allowed you to gain a lot more self-awareness. We started off talking about Ikigai, the reason for being. We moved on to talk about the quadrants of success and where we need to start shifting our priorities and pursuing our passions. Focusing on what we love and are good at, focusing on what we love and are not good at yet. The intricate bit that people miss out is the training, investment, education, personal growth, education in that space, really investing in that. We've talked about areas we thrive in and making sure we're not trying to be someone else, right? Don't try and be another personality type. It will never work. You'll make a mistake. I've done it myself many, many times. And remember, you've got to go all in when you know. And if you get it wrong, that's okay. Just go back and do it again and start from scratch. If you've just followed me today, if you've never tuned into one of these before, I'm at Jay Shetty IW on Facebook. Come and find me and give a like to the Huffington Post and HuffPost Rise Facebook pages so that you can get a notification every time I'm live. It was great speaking with you today, and I wish you a weekend where you can explore your passions and start pursuing your purpose. Thanks so much, guys.
All right. What did y'all think about that? That was very informative, right? I love that. I've been listening to Jay Shetty for some years now. He's definitely somebody that I would recommend you follow if you want to tap into your greater self and your better self. But he went through a lot. So just to kind of summarize it in a way. So as far as the dominant, somebody who wants to be in the driver's seat. Inspiring is someone who's influencing, someone who talks a lot. They thrive when the difference is made. So like they want to make an impact. Someone who's the collective portion, they are more so on quality, making sure that the quality is there, making sure that, they're like a perfectionist. And then supportive is someone that's stable and they make everyone feel connected. Okay, so different positions that he talked about, because I'm not going to go deep into the summary since you can listen to this on your downtime. You can listen to the replay. It will be reposted. All right. So the dominant ones are managers, project managers. The inspiring ones are the ones who are over the media, directors, producers, things of that nature. The ones who are in the collective aspect, they're quality control, they're coders, they're also producers. And then for the supportive aspect, they're teams. So they are psychiatrists, psychologists as examples, right? So, he said you need all 4 to have a great team. an effective team, right? Sticking to the plan, telling others about how the system works, having that quality, and then having that support is something that each business, each brand needs. All right. And you could be more than one. Like he said, you could be DNI or INS or SNC or C&D, however you want to do it. Most of us have more than one box that we're in. So just personally, I can see myself as D, dominant, and inspiring because I do a little bit of what both of them encompass, right? So it's good to know where your strong points are. It's good to know where you need some more practice, where you need some more assistance so that you can scale up in your life. Because honestly, success starts from within. And regardless of what you got going on, that will be your ultimate test, is how you treat yourself, how you demand and look at life based on your purpose, right? And if you're focusing on the money and focusing on people, trying to please them, trying to do all these things, you miss the point, right? The point is for you to be great at being you and just learning who you are, going deep within, and allowing that to come out, because whatever's on the inside of you is what's going to manifest. So if you're not really that great on the inside, you're not going to be that great on the outside. All the successful people and people who are working in their purpose work have done that inner work, and that's something that we all should strive to do. All right, so thank you once again. That is our time for today for our Meeting of the Mind segment. Again, follow, subscribe, share this out if it's helped you. If you think that someone else can benefit from this, tell them about it, right? When we get good news and a lot of things happen, what do? We tell other people about it, right? So let's carry that on into all aspects of our life, all right? Let's make sure that we're doing our purpose work, all right? Talking to you like this, being a part of the intellectual community, creating this community, this platform is a part of my purpose work. So I'm walking in this too. There's a lot of things that I don't know yet that I'm still learning, and I'm willing to help you do the same, all right? So thank you once again for tuning in. Make sure to follow, subscribe. Our Showcase Your Talent show will be this coming Sunday. If you have not registered, there is still time. Go to intellects.com or go to our link tree to register to sign up as either a featured artist, a contestant where you win a cash prize. We're doing a 2-for-1 this month, so make sure if you sign up, you're signing up for 2 showcases. You could win 2 prizes. Who knows? All right. And just follow us. We have our podcast. We have a lot of things going on. Stay in the know, on the know by downloading our app, the Artrepreneurs Hub, subscribing to our email list and our YouTube channel. They're both free $99. All right. So until next time, have an amazing day and an awesome and productive rest of your week. Intellects here, and welcome to Intellects Artrepreneur Agency, the Indeed for Artists. If you want to be a part of the intellectual community, check us out. We have so much going on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and everywhere in between. And we even got our own app, okay? So make sure to check us out. Go to intellects.com. Go to our link tree. Look us up on social media at IntellectsATC so that we can best serve you. All right, we thank you so much for being a part of our vision. We appreciate you, and we wouldn't be here without all of our amazing subscribers and supporters. Don't forget to sign up for the talent show every month, and someone always leaves with a prize. And don't forget to take advantage of all of our special offers, our events, our merch, our resources, our referrals, because we are here to serve you, okay? And thank you for the love. Until next time.